Welcome everybody. Today, we from the Center for the Study of Human Health from Emory University are going to be talking to you all about what is health and the many different areas of health and why it's so important for us. Just to introduce ourselves, we're going to go around one by one. My name is Patrick.
I'm Michael.
I'm Shaylan.
And I'm Farhan.
Great. And now we're going to give you guys a brief overview of our lesson today and what we're going to be covering. So first, obviously, we just introduced ourselves. And then we're going to look at a brief video, which gives us, again, just kind of an overview of what we're going to be going through as it relates to health and its many different areas created by Shay. And then we're going to define health specifically according to the terms that we use in the Center for the Study of Human Health. Then we're going to go over the 5 pillars of health and end the lesson with a fun scavenger hunt. And now we're going to take a brief look at our key messages. The first is that health is complex, and the second is that health is not limited to physical well-being or whether or not you have a disease.
Hi everyone. So today we're going to talk about health. Everyone talks about the importance of staying healthy, but what does this even mean and how can we do it? Today we'll explore different ideas in order to answer the question, what is health? What's important to remember is that there are many different areas of our health, which include our eating habits, relationships with others, and even our emotions. These areas of health are shaped by things like how much we exercise, how much we sleep, and how we stay motivated to set and reach our goals. All these different parts of our health can be overwhelming and confusing sometimes, but that's totally okay. Today we're going to explore them in depth together, and you just have to find what works for you. A lot of people think that health just means not being sick. While this is important, especially during a pandemic, it's only a small part of what health truly means. Today, you'll discover how broad the umbrella of health can really be. You've probably already been practicing tons of healthy behaviors, even if you didn't know it. It's important to understand that health looks very different for everyone. For example, one person might find that alone time and meditation may help to relieve their stress, but others may find that their stress is relieved when they're hanging out with friends. Health is dependent on things like where you live and go to school, your values and interests, and even your behaviors. It's not a one-size-fits-all sort of idea, so let's explore the ways that we can answer the question, what is health? And also think of ways to create a healthier lifestyle for ourselves.
All right, so hopefully that video was able to give you a good glimpse into what health is and also what health isn't. So the first thing you guys need to know is that health is complex. So that means it has many different components. It can be quite a difficult thing to achieve and maintain, but we want to try to make it easy for you guys today. So there are many different definitions of health, and they change from person to person, and they even change as we get older. And so it involves a lot of different aspects of our daily lives, such as our goals, our life's purpose, how much we exercise, and our nutrition, so what we eat. And so health is going to look different based on your personal preferences.
I think health is really dynamic too, and it changes as you grow older. I know my definition of health has changed from middle school, and I really it's much different now. And we really want to emphasize that just because you aren't sick doesn't mean that you're at your best, and we can always improve on our health and always change it up.
Yeah, health, again, like Shay said, is personal to you. So it's not a one-size-fits-all when it comes to health, and it's related to your biology, the environment that you live in, and even in your community. So, if you're an athlete, in terms of nutrition, you might need to eat more or eat more protein and things like that. It's very personal to you.
Yeah, so like I said, health has many different components, and these components each relate to a different area of our lives. And so we call these different areas pillars. So the different pillars of health are physical, mental, emotional, social, and spiritual. And so can someone tell me why each of these pillars is so important?
Oh, I think I know why. Because when there are five, first of all, there are five different pillars of health. So that means that they all work together in order to hold up our strong structure of health. So if one is weakened and begins to crumble, then the rest will too. So therefore, we need to make sure we value all five of them so that we can have a good overall health.
Right. So a really great way to visualize health is as a building. So this building is going to be held up by five different pillars. And so if one pillar falls, our foundation isn't as strong and other pillars are at risk of collapsing too.
Great explanation of the pillars of health, Shay. And the first pillar we're going to look at today is the physical pillar of health. And obviously you can tell right away that the physical pillar is related to our body and our overall bodily functions and why they're important. One of the most important parts of the physical pillar of health is our nutrition, making sure that we're eating properly each and every day and establishing good eating habits so that we can continue to eat healthily throughout our lives. Another important part is exercise, whether it's through sports or through walking to school. Exercise is a great way to stay active and to enhance our physical pillar of health. Sleep too is very important. Getting around usually 7 to 8 hours a night is a great way to make sure that we're taking care of that part of our pillar. And stress too is very important because we need to make sure that we're managing it properly and remembering that there are both positive and negative forms of stress. And of course, we need to make sure that we're staying safe as well as keeping everybody safe around us.
Absolutely. I think that's a really important pillar to focus on, Pat, especially with playing sports and nutrition. I also think another pillar that's really important is the mental pillar of health. And the mental pillar of health is all about your state of being. You know, it's all about finding meaning in life and finding enjoyment in the things you're doing, and also finding a balance between doing things you enjoy and then also playing hard and working hard. And finding these balances and enjoying the good moments in life is what the mental health pillar is really about. And it's also important to make sure if you're ever feeling like you need to talk to someone about your mental health, to reach out to friends and family or to teachers or someone at your school, and be open to talking about it. Because when we talk about our mental health, what we do is we help to destigmatize mental health. And we're going to talk a little bit about mental health stigma now. And so what is mental health stigma? Mental health stigma is thinking of yourself or of someone else in a negative way because they have a mental illness. And that's really detrimental because what that does is that when you stigmatize someone for having or mental illness or feeling a certain way, what you're doing is you're telling them that it's not okay to talk about it and they're not accepted, which is absolutely the wrong thing we should do. We should accept everyone, no matter who they are or how they're feeling. So we should always encourage talking and being open about our mental health. And sometimes the words we say, like crazy or insane, or especially the R word, what we're doing is that we're saying these things are we're saying these things are unacceptable, and we're stigmatizing them. So what we should do is we should be like Kanye West in some ways. And what Kanye does really well is he's really open about his mental health, and he's been really open about his bipolar disorder. And when he talks about mental health, it kind of shows everyone that, hey, it's okay to talk about mental health. If the celebrity is talking about it, we should all be able to talk about it and see it as a part of our lives.
Yeah, and the next pillar that I want to discuss is the social pillar. And so the social pillar is interacting with your peers and friends. So an example of that could be hanging out with your friends, and even being able to work within different social groups. And so, as you go through school and even in work, you're going to be meeting all sorts of different types of people, whether of different ethnicities or socioeconomic status. And so group projects are a great example of that. And so, one way that you can build up your social pillar, and it's a very easy thing to do, is to eat with your friends and family. And so, that's something that is really beneficial to your social pillar of health.
Yeah, thanks, Michael. And so now we're just going to talk about the spiritual pillar. So this one's a little bit more abstract. And in my opinion, it's the hardest one to understand because there's so many different ways to strengthen it. So it basically just depends on what your interests are and what your lifestyle looks like. But the spiritual pillar is really all about finding purpose in your life. It's all about connecting with yourself and identifying your values, your morals, and your beliefs. And a really important thing to note is that religion is a great way to strengthen this pillar, but by no means is religion required to strengthen the spiritual pillar. So for me, how I strengthen my spiritual pillar is through meditation, through yoga, and through going into nature. And some other things that you guys can do also to strengthen this pillar is just to like reflect on your day every day, do some journaling, and some introspection. And so just like reflecting on yourself and your own behaviors. So this just allows you to like get to know yourself more and connect with yourself. And so just start to jot down some ways that you can implement this pillar into your life.
Great job explaining that, Shay. And like she's saying, that is definitely a tough one to understand. And another important pillar is the emotional pillar. And obviously, this one relates to our ability to understand our own emotions and to express them in ways that are most appropriate. And so that and being able to do so appropriately allows us to then also be aware of the emotions of others. And so the emotional pillar also involves being able to share how we feel with our friends and family, and again, any peers around us that we know we can trust. And another important part is that it allows us to deal with both positive and negative emotions. And as Farhan was talking about earlier with the mental pillar, we go through a lot of highs and lows in our life. So being able to deal with positive and negative emotions is very important, and we can do so through taking care of us, through taking care of ourselves and listening to our emotions.
Yeah, great point, Pat. And we would just like to emphasize again that all of these pillars are connected, and just like a building, these pillars are the foundation. So if one pillar becomes weakened, then the rest of the pillars are also going to be affected, and so is your overall health. So thinking of the 5 pillars as a building uh, is a really good way to think and about our overall health.
Okay, so now for our scavenger hunt activity. So either take a minute to scan this or go on the website down below and check out the scavenger hunt. There you'll see a scenario that a typical middle schooler might go through, and you'll be sort of reflecting on your life and how it relates to the 5 pillars of health. So our key messages, again, to reiterate, are that health is complex and that health is not limited to physical well-being or whether or not you have a disease. We saw that, there's so many definitions of health, and the 5 pillars show that it's not just about nutrition or just about working out. It's so much more than that.
Okay, and to finish up, we have provided a fun way to assess the knowledge that you have learned today from the lesson. So we're going to this is the first crossword puzzle that we are going to have you guys complete on your own. It's a fun activity. You can access it either by scanning this QR code right here with the smartphone, or you can copy and paste the link into your browser. And just to let you guys know that the crossword puzzle as well as a scavenger hunt in the video are going to be available in the video description if you guys have trouble accessing those resources. And also, if none of those work for the crossword puzzle, you can just take out a piece of paper and draw in the different boxes and then fill them in yourself.
So these are some reflection questions for you guys to just think about. Take a minute, pause the video, and answer these questions on your own or with your friends or in a group. Thank you guys so much. Have a great day.
Thanks for listening.
Thank you.